everyone, my name is Alejandra and today we will summarize chapter 11 and our topic is inductive reasoning. Let's begin with our first topic, introduction to induction. An inductive argument is one in which the premises are intended to provide support but not conclusive evidence for the conclusion, because inductive arguments do not guarantee that their conclusions are true. We evaluate them according to the strength of support they provide for their conclusion. An inductive argument is strong when it provides evidence that its conclusion is more likely true than false. An inductive argument is weak when its premises do not provide evidence, its conclusion is more likely true than false. As we shall see, arguments have varying degree of strength and weakness. Our next topic is inductive generalization. A generalization is a statement made about all or most members of a group. Inductive generalization is one of the most important kinds of inductive argument. An inductive generalization is an argument that relies on characteristics of a sample population to make a claim about the population as whole. In other words, it is an argument that uses evidence about limited number of people or things of certain types. A sample, the sample population to make a claim about large group of people or things of that type. The population is whole. Let's look at the example. All the bus hung his couch in the Susquehanna River have waited less than 1 pound. So, most of the bus in the Susquehanna River weighed less than 1 pound. This is great. This is a great example for inductive generalization. Our new topic is evaluating inductive generalization. Standard test for determining whether a deductive argument is valid or invalid. There is no standard test for determining whether an inductive argument is strong or weak. Still, we are not totally lost when it comes to evaluating inductive generalization. There are 3 questions you must ask for each inductive generalization. Let's look at this example. Question, sorry. The premises true. The second one is the sample large enough? The third one is the sample representative? And let's look at the first one. Are the premises true? A deductive argument that is valid and has all true premises leading to true conclusion is called sound argument. Sound argument. A cogent argument is a cogent argument has all true premises and supplies strong support for its conclusion. One or more false premises makes an inductive argument uncovered, even if its argumentation, its support for the conclusion, is strong. For example, let's look at the example for sales of Fortune 500 companies are women. So, CEOs of most big business are probably women. Then the second question. Is the sample large enough? Common sense prompts us to ask that obvious question about inductive generalization. The size of sample population must be sufficient to justify the conclusion about the population as whole. And a sample is large enough when it's clear that we have not rushed judgment, that we have not formed hasty generalization. And now let's look at the last one. Is the sample representative? And inductive generalization is weak if the sample population draws on it's not enough like the population as whole about which it makes its claim. In technical terms, we want the sample population to be representative. A representative sample is like population is full of relevant weight. It should be mini version of the population as whole. We have another topic which is called opinion pools and inductive generalization. Opinion pools are the excellent source of inductive generalization. The aim of a pool is to determine what a large population thinks or believes about a certain issue. To make that determination, it is not necessary to ask every member of that population. Rather, the preferred method is to ask a question of sample of the population that is both large enough and representative of the population as whole. The statistical arguments. A Theoretical arguments argue from premises regarding a percentage of a population to conclusion about individual member of population or some part of population. Our next activity is references class. The references class is the group to which statistics apply. A rule is the more specific the references class is, the better its argument is. In changing the references class from college students to college students who like writing essay, we found that the conclusion about where I changed. Adding new information to induct argument can change its strength. In this case, changing the reference class calls for a different conclusion. There is an example for reference class that look at it. For example, are person of the sport student students vote for backing as teacher of the year. William is a expert student, so William probably vote for Watkins. Another topic, induction and analogy. Sorry. What is analogy? Understanding analogies and arguments that use analogies is essential to critical thinking. Analogies are not just the stuff of nightmares and intense exams. An analogy is a comparison of things based on similar those things share. Analogies then depend on what is similar or same or two or more cases. Analogies are everywhere, on exams, in arguments, in newspaper, in poems, and in songs. How can we argue by analogy? How can we argue by analogy? An argument from analogy depends on an analogy or a similarity between two or more things. Analogy compares two or more things. Arguments from analogy go one step further. They often claim that another similarity exists, given the similarity already recognized. Whereas an analogy simply points out the similarity argument from analogy. Argument from analogy claims that certain an argument from analogy claims that certain similarities are evidence that there is analogy similarity. Evaluating arguments from analogy. Evaluating arguments from analogy. analogy. Critical thinking involves more than just recognizing arguments from analogy. It also involves evaluating those arguments. There are good and bad analogies, and there are also good and bad arguments from analogies. Arguing by analogy. Arguing by analogy. A strong argument from analogy can be effective. People like comparisons, particularly when the comparison relates to something difficult or foreign to something they consider easy or familiar. Still, not every position can be defeated by argument from analogy. Often, the weak arguments from analogy will do more harm than good. Hatırlamam lazım. Induction and further arguments. Human are curious life form. Our very nature drives us to search for knowledge. One of the most basic, most common, and most important kind of knowledge we seek is knowledge, cause and effect. Cause and effect. Why didn't my alarm clock go off when it was supposed to? Why there is no hot water left for my shower? We tend to look for causal connections when we are surprised pleasantly or unpleasantly by what occurs. And our last topic is a few words about probability. All invalid arguments are a matter of probability because they are not certain. They do not guarantee the truth of their conclusion, but only offer evidence that the conclusion is probably true. We need to clarify what we mean by probability because there are several different senses of words. Consider let's look at an example for probability. There is a pretty high probability that I will go to the beach sometimes in this summer. There is a pretty high probability that I will go to beach sometimes this summer. Illustrates epistemic probability. Epistemic probability. What is epistemic probability? Epistemic probability expresses how likely we think an event is given other things we believe. Uh, think about inductive reasoning. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening to me.